Well, it's great to see our iconic main tourist attraction, recovering really well and increasing its numbers. That's absolutely fantastic. We got a really good extensive report showing where the visitors came from, and looking at 49% from the USA is a very striking number. 7% from Canada, 6% domestic, 4% from Germany, and then 4% from the UK, 30% from the rest of the world. So I suppose that's telling us, it's really important to have these figures to tell us what we need to work on, and I think domestic tourism is something we need to work on. The connectivity between the towns and villages of North Clare and the Cliffs of Moher, and again I go back to that number is over 1.5 million people, which is really fantastic for County Clare to have an attraction like that. But I think our infrastructure needs to be upgraded to be able to make sure that doesn't become a negative thing, and particularly our roads.
And you mentioned yourself that the amount of people staying in Clare was abysmal compared to the numbers.
Well, look, I'm looking at a figure here that says 29% at least one night and 10% 2 nights. I mean, for those numbers, we really need to work to bring those numbers up. It's good to know where they are, because as an SPC, we need to focus on a real deliberate strategy and investment through marketing and through investment in products and experiences, that people stay longer. And the accommodation issue, is something now that needs a very, very strong piece of work from Falls Ireland and Clare Tourism to make sure that the accommodation coming back into tourism and further accommodation is developed and enhanced.
And what would you suggest for this coming year?
I think this coming year is I think that the Cliffs of Moher, in terms of North Clare in particular, the shuttle, the pilot shuttle programme needs to be really enhanced and connected to the towns and villages, and I think a lot of work needs to be done before it starts in May to make sure that more people use it. We look at maybe 50, 60,000 people last year. We need to be looking at increasing that significantly by working with the host communities and working with the other towns and villages in the hinterland in particular, and making sure that we have an integrated transport system, working with Local Link and the TII around that.